What's up, y'all? It's your girl, the Authentic Empress. That was my seat. That was not me. Anyway, um, I was thinking a lot of people, who are quote unquote woke or in the conscious community, they discuss things such as self-sufficiency, survival, living, but being able to survive on things, naturally and solely on the divine guidance and your ability to be resourceful and practical, right? Opposed to being overly reliant or codependent to all of these methods or constructs of escapisms, all these different forms of escapisms, not even to try to complicate the conversation with these extreme vocabularies, right? However, do we really have, do most people really have what it takes for that? And, the, the, the wisdom, the patience, and the understanding and humility and the upright, and the high vibrational aspect of it. Not in a sense that you just you allow yourself to you allow yourself to be silenced or diminished just to appease, someone's insecurity or whatever, or people competing with you in their minds or making comparisons that are unnecessary, that they find a requirement for them to feel a certain way or maintain a certain level of confidence about themselves and how they show up in the world amongst other people and other individuals, right? I was thinking earlier and kind of the last couple of days about softening to love, right? How things are in cycles, like the seasons, like there's spring, summer, fall, winter, so on and so forth. There's a time where you need to sharpen yourself when it comes to being assertive and balancing your aggressive energy, your masculine energy, so that you don't allow people to run over you or manipulate you, try to control you, and take advantage of you, right? Abuse you or misuse your energy in any way. There's a time and a season for everything. So there's a time where you require a level of hardness, right? And then there's a time to soften to love. So you don't want to develop that protection and become solid in your protection like you should now. You don't want to develop it to an extent that you completely disown your softening to love, right? You still have to be considerate of your feminine energy. And there's a time and a place for everything. And I'm not, and it varies for all people, or to some degree or aspect, depending on what, what part or what it is exactly that you're facing or that you're trying to strengthen within yourself or within that particular energy, right? Or however much work, is required for that particular area within that energy. So, for example, you know how there's a time in the day when the sun comes up. The sun is a masculine energy. There's a time in the day when the moon comes up, or the night, shall we say. So, sun and the moon. And, there's always phases and just, subcategories and aspects and angles about each thing, right? The sun and the moon. So with the sun, right, you have sunrise, but you also have sunset. So you get to see different variations of the sun, just like you have the moon phases, right? The crescent moon, half moon, full moon, quarter moon. There's phases of that feminine energy. So being able to master all aspects of that energy, right? So even with the elements, air and fire are masculine energies, and then earth and water are feminine energies. And there's variations to each and every element. For water, rain, thunder, like thundering rain, like hard rain, when it freezes, and then you will call that hail. But we understand, even considering how hell is spelled, is HAIL for that, right? Not actual hell. All hail the king, all hail the queen type thing. So consider that when you consider that energy when it freezes, right? So even though I feel like that's masculine energy meeting feminine energy to some degree, becoming cold to certain things or to certain energies that do not deserve you or do not serve your highest good, right? Becoming cold to those energies so that you're not able to be manipulated emotionally to overlook certain things that you need not overlook, that you need to address accordingly, right? So becoming cold to certain things, right? So allow that masculine energy, that air energy, that cold air energy to merge with that water, right? Even with fire, hot water. We always use that phrase, or you're going to be in hot water if you do something like that. Or if you do that, you're going to be in hot water with your mom. You're going to be in hot water with your wife. We use these phrases subconsciously because of the repetitious nature or the tradition of it being passed down and being, spoken throughout generations. But do we ever ponder why people even say these things or break down why they're saying that, right? So, yeah. Once again, merging that fire, that masculine energy with the feminine energy of water. But then you also have that more pleasant and calm, inviting water energy, right? Water, like when it rains, it's not always hazardous, right? It's not always thunderstorms and hurricanes, and even in thunderstorms, people still find comfort and amazement and excitement and awe when it comes to thunderstorms and hurricanes. A lot of people are still like amazed by the ability for water, to even do that, to have that power, that much power and strength to do that. And then consider waterfalls and, the beautiful manifestations of water and what it does, and just the versatility, right, and diversity of water. We love to be in water. We love to go to the lakes and to the beaches and to get in the pool and to shower and to take our spiritual baths and even to stand in the rain sometimes. Even as kids, we love playing in the mud or, like we are splashing in puddles and stuff like that. There's so many things we love about water. We need water. We drink water. We're made of water. We need water to survive. So there's so many beautiful things that comes from water, even though there's also things where water can, manifest as treacherous to us, right? And it's the same thing with each and every element. So making sure we master those things. So think about springtime and summertime. Springtime is, really about the energy of happiness and joy and love and, warmth, right? Because we also love warm water. We don't exactly want to bathe in cold water. It's not our first preference to bathe in cold water. We rather bathe in warm water. We rather for the water to be warm or heated by the sun or hot, right? Before we get into it, we could do the cold water. We could definitely fathom that, but we rather it be warm water. Yes. So that's just something to consider. So when that water is warm and our temperature, our room temperature, right? We love to be in that water. So and then think about water being met with the sun in order for flowers and herbs and fruits and veggies and all these things to grow and prosper and blossom. So we also need that as well. We need that. We need that to blossom and for beautiful things to spring up. So our relationships and our connections and our creations, not just children, but our creations, like our projects and our art and anything produced from our creative nature and our inner sun, right? And even think about your inner sun and where your water energy is, right? Your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, which is your inner sun, literally sits right above your water, your sacral chakra, your ocean, your seat of creativity and emotions and intuition. It sits over that, it hovers over that. And the sun card in tarot is also the enlightenment card. It's also happiness and joy, right? So imagine that hovering over your sacral energy, that energy of emotions and creativity and intuition, right? And being merged and met with that warm energy of the sun, your inner sun. And then what's right underneath that? Your base chakra, your root chakra, the roots in the ground, right? What does the roots need? What does the seeds need when it's buried, right? And your root chakra is talking about survival. It's talking about your stability, overall, right? It's talking about things that you need, your needs, your desires, your wants in order to survive and thrive, right? So we need veggies and fruits, and we need food and herbs. We need these things, right? But what does it take in order for those things to become, very solid and grounded, and in order for it to spring up, right, into that loving energy, in order for it to spring up, right? So you have your water, of course, that's watering that, because that's usually how it goes when we plant things. We water it, and then we allow the sun and other aspects and elements and, things of the universe, all the little ingredients that matter, right, to will those seeds to grow. So we have to keep that in mind whenever we consider ourselves and our journey at all times. We have to keep coming back to that understanding that we are reflections of nature. Most definitely. So what's right above the solar plexus? Your heart chakra. What's right above that? Your throat chakra. Expression. So love, love goes into the best plants and fruits and anything that you grow, including your child, raising a child or anyone, a connection. In order for something to grow, you must feed it, right? You must feed it, you must nurture it, you must nourish it with your emotions, with your care, with your love, with your understanding, with your passion, with your compassion, right? With your patience, with your wisdom, with your knowledge. All of these things, all of these ingredients, all of this soil and these nutrients and minerals, right? That's why I said all the little ingredients of the universe that is of necessity in order for those seeds to grow, right? You need all of that for those things to prosper. So that loving energy, right, your heart chakra, that energy growing out of that, we need that. We need that. And then and then think about how all the different mini flowers and all the variations of fruits and everything, how it expresses itself. It expresses itself through its color, through its shape, through how it grows and where it grows and what it grows on, through its taste, its flavor, right? So that expression energy, right, of the throat chakra, that blue energy, right? Yeah. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Then right above that, we have the third eye chakra, and then we have the crown. Having all of those necessary ingredients, because we're talking about plants from earth here. Bless me. We're talking about things of nature food, because nature's food is our medicine. It heals us, it restores us, it rejuvenates us. It is our reflection. It is life. We're life. If we want to live and we want to, invest in our lives, we must feed ourselves things that are alive. So keep that in mind. So once it expresses itself and you consume that, because that's still met here within the mouth, right? That expression chakra, that expression energy is your throat chakra. So not only is the fruits and everything that has now prospered and blossomed and grown, it's expressing itself through it's it's showing itself and revealing itself, right? And Wow, that's so interesting. The smell, the frequency that it creates, right? The aroma, and wow, that's so deep. I'm just challenging y'all. I'm just really meditating, and I was led to turn my camera and start recording. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful. But yes, so now when you consume these things, think about what it does to your mind, your third eye, right? What the clarity that it brings, the spiritual clarity. How it enhances your spiritual self. The way that you think and process information, your ideas and innovativeness, your rapport with nature and with the divine, all that is divine, with the creator, the universe, the archangels, your spirit guides, and your ancestors. Yeah, because you're feeding into yourself that which is of you, so that you better you're more closer, your energy is more aligned with the energy that is divine, so that, yeah, it's like it strengthens that rapport and your ability to channel, your ability to understand and communicate with nature. Yeah, with other people's energy, as we all are reflections of nature. So yeah. And just imagine how things that are not, that does not belong, we're not supposed to be consuming. And not just food, like physical food, but all methods of food, like food to your emotions, like emotional food, logic, psychological food, or, anything that you consume that is foreign to the body. And so you're putting your body, making your body having to overwork itself and focus on other things, when other things actually require our focus, right? As divine beings, as spiritual beings having a natural experience, our body is having to over focus on things that it wouldn't typically have to if we wasn't putting the wrong things, or giving it the wrong things to consume in the first place. So yeah, self-mastery. So sometimes it takes for you to lose things. It takes for, these tests and trials and tribulations and people working against you because they don't understand your story, or because of their insecurities and their low self-esteem. And so, and them being intimidated by your ability to alchemize anything that comes at you, right? So it's like a win-win situation, win-lose, win-win, win-lose, lose, win-win. But it's always more wins than losses. What somebody creates for you, that and their low vibrational perception is determined to be a loss, right? And what that low vibrational energy wants you to perceive it to be, wanting you to perceive it as loss, wanting you to perceive that, and fixate on the low vibrational aspect of whatever is currently happening, right? However, what you're supposed to do is to alchemize coal, right? You're supposed to turn coal into gold. Who said, that those things that appear to be your dark moments, which are, very much so, or not. I guess it really depends on how you look at it, but who says that those aren't coal, the coals, the variations of coal in your life? When people leave you out in the cold, when people betray you, when people pray for your downfall or send dark magic and bad juju against your creations and your projects, wanting you to give up, wanting you to feel like you made a bad decision, or that it's bogus what you're doing and what you're trying to create here, or no one supports you, no one believes in you, all these negative things, all these ingredients, all the little bugs, trying to eat off your leaves, and what end up happening to nature when nature understands that there's different predators and different things out here that it must survive amongst, what does it end up doing down there? We got chameleons, and we got these creatures and these animals that camouflage itself and create defense mechanisms to ward off certain predators and enemies, right? It evolves. It evolves so that it can be better able to withstand all the wiles of the enemy. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. A lot of people get stuck. A lot of people. Are you going to allow your birthright, your legacy, and all that you are to become extinct? No. Or are you going to evolve so that you are better able to withstand the wiles of the enemy? Are you going to allow these invaders to make you feel like you don't belong here? That you aren't needed, you aren't wanted, you aren't loved? When you were created by the Creator, you were created by nature. You are a reflection of nature. You are confirmation. You are a manifestation of what is needed here on this earth. And you're going to allow people who don't know themselves, and people who don't love themselves, people who don't understand themselves, people whose vessel and whose body is having to overly focus on things that it should not be consuming, opposed to things that you are able to focus on that is of necessity to restore balance and harmony, justice and truth, love, genuine, healthy love. Because you are focused on those things, because you invest and you make sure you consume those sound frequencies and those different methods of healing yourself, and your crystal healing, and your Reiki, or your prayers and your affirmations, and eating veggies and fruits and putting things in your body that your body truly deserves, things that are a reflection of you, meditating, doing all these, consuming all these things, being mindful of what you hear, what you see, what you allow around your space, what you speak, what you think. Blessings, lessons, chess, not checkers. It's your girl, the Authentic Empress. I send y'all peace, love, justice, truth, balance, harmony, patience. For time is an illusion. I love y'all. Catch you in the next video.